Hey guys, Chris of the Polish Geek here and welcome to another list video, top 5 video games that I think deserve a re-release remaster on the Nintendo Switch. And by the way, yes, I'm still playing the amazing Tears of the Kingdom. The game is phenomenal, but it's so overwhelming. Don't expect a review until likely late July because I'll be away mid-July, so unfortunately, that's right. Expect a full review of this masterpiece late July, but still, this game is a masterpiece and I will totally fully review it once I beat it. But this is the top 5 list of the 5 produced Nintendo games that I think totally deserve a remastered re-release on the Switch, because Nintendo has actually released lots of their famous classic masterpieces they produced throughout history on the Nintendo Switch. I mean, they re-released them, like for example Metroid Prime, the one I reviewed like 2 months ago only, and of course Skyward Sword, one of my favorite Zelda games ever, and I should have reviewed it when I beaten it, but oh well. And of course Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Like, you already know how much I love the original Donkey Kong Country trilogy on an SNES. Those are some of my favorite video games of all time. And Tropical Freeze is a masterpiece, and it very much does them justice. It honors them so much. I love Tropical Freeze. It's now, together with Tears of the Kingdom, it's tied up for my favorite Switch game, even though it was originally released on the Wii U. But let's talk about, let's discuss 5 video games that I think Nintendo should remaster, re-release on the Nintendo Switch. At first, let's get something out of the way first. There is no Nintendo 64 or Super Nintendo games on this list because Nintendo has actually released an entire library full of their old Super Nintendo games on the Switch. Super Nintendo, Nintendo Switch Online, and Nintendo 64 Nintendo Switch Online. Yeah, Nintendo has thankfully released an entire library that consists of their Nintendo 64 and Super Nintendo video games, and that's why all the games on the Super Nintendo or Nintendo 64 are not on this list. The list consists of mostly GameCube games, Wii games, Nintendo 3DS, yeah, but any games that Nintendo has released as part of their Nintendo Switch Online library are not on this list, which is why 64 and Super Nintendo are out. Okay, so now on to actual list, top 5 video games that Nintendo should remaster, re-release on Nintendo Switch. And coming in number 5 is Super Paper Mario. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the Paper Mario franchise. My favorite game is higher on this list, and if you are a fan of the franchise as well, you probably already know which game I'm talking about. But I love Super Paper Mario. I think it got kind of lots of hate on a release because it was objectively a very much change of the formula from the first 2 games. But I thought the game was fantastic. Like, the story of the game was excellent, and I love this story of the game was excellent, and I did not mind the new gameplay change one bit. I actually thought that the new gameplay was pretty innovative and really cool. So that was awesome for me. And in general, the Paper Mario games are actually darker from the regular Paper Mario games, plus the first 3 Paper Mario games are still much better than any of the Paper Mario games that came after it. Like, don't get me even started on the crappy Sticker Star. But Super Paper Mario, this is probably a chance for this game to shine again, because this game was awesome, and it totally did not deserve any of the hate that it got. It was just a change of the formula. So I think it's a perfect example of the game that I think Nintendo should re-release on the Nintendo Switch. Number 4, Legend of Zelda: Link Between Worlds. Like, by now you already know how much I love Legend of Zelda, and hell, I'm still playing Tears of the Kingdom that I just talked about a few minutes ago. And Link Between Worlds has always been one of my very favorite Zelda games. I loved Link Between Worlds, and if you don't count Ocarina of Time, which was originally a Nintendo 64 game, Link Between Worlds was always my favorite Nintendo 3DS game, and I always thought that the game was a masterpiece, and even better than Link to the Past, which is also great, by the way. And because Link Between Worlds, I don't think it looks so great and very much plays similar to the Link's Awakening remake, I think it could totally do a great remaster port on the Nintendo Switch. This is a perfect example of a game I think would work amazingly well on the Nintendo Switch. So yes, I totally think Link Between Worlds should be remastered on the Nintendo Switch. And play similar to Link's Awakening, which it is. Number 3. And those are the games I never played myself because they are Metroid Prime sequels. Yeah, like I really loved the first Metroid Prime. That was my very first time playing it. And because I loved the first Metroid Prime so much, I totally want more. That's why I think that the following 2 sequels should totally get the same type of remaster that the first game got. And there is not really much explanation of why I think it deserves it, other than I love the first game and I just want more Metroid Prime. Especially that those are the games I missed out on back in the day. And plus also, like you remaster the first game, why not remaster the entire trilogy? Trust me, like we fans all want more Metroid Prime, so please go ahead and remaster Metroid Prime sequels, especially that there are many people out there like me who still never got a chance to play them, but really would love to. Number 2. Kid Icarus Uprising. I love Kid Icarus Uprising. This is literally one of my very favorite Nintendo 3DS games. Like Kid Icarus Uprising is such a magnificent game, but because of the gameplay style with the stylus, it didn't really appeal to a lot of people. Like the unique and different gameplay style actually turned a lot of people off, and I don't even blame them. Even for me, it took time getting used to the controls. Once I did get used to them, the game became one of my favorite Nintendo 3DS games of all time, but it took a lot of time to get used to the controls. Plus, I heard that left-handed players had even a much tougher time adjusting to the controls. So I think this is a perfect candidate to be remastered on the Nintendo Switch, and the gameplay should be made much more accessible so that a lot more players could now play it. Because the game is amazing, but because some people never even had a Nintendo 3DS, and if they did, the gameplay style kind of turned them off. So this is a perfect opportunity for this game to get another chance, this time with a much more accessible gameplay, and I'm pretty sure it might even become a beloved classic, because this game is super fantastic, and it totally should be a beloved Nintendo classic. And I think with much easier gameplay controls, it will finally get its chance. And at number 1, the game that I totally think deserves a Nintendo Switch remaster is Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. I love Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. This is like one of my favorite video games of all time. And it's certainly my favorite Mario game of all time. Like I love Mario franchise, but I don't think that like any Mario game will ever come close to Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. I love this game, and I still remember the story of how I first played this game. I went to a boarding school in the United States, in the state of Rhode Island, which are still some of the best years of my life, and I have so many fond memories. And I remember how my friend had brought a GameCube and this game to school, and how every weekend, the only time we could play video games, I would play Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, and I've like beaten it mid-year. And yeah, and then later of course, I bought a Wii in a local Nintendo store close to me, which was outdated at that point. It was the time of the Wii U, and of course, I ordered Paper Mario Thousand Year Door online because This game is so incredible and it's still one of my favorite video games of all time. So, the amazingness of this game is that it combines amazing and deep storytelling with typical Nintendo style, and it just works. And this game is so fantastic, but because many people either don't own a GameCube or Wii or sold them long ago, but if this game gets re-released and remastered on the Nintendo Switch, this game will have a chance to again be beloved by many and more generation of gamers. Because this game is achieved so well with the awesome paper graphics and all. Because this is simply a masterpiece. And if Nintendo does finally remaster it, which I really wish they do, wise choice would be not to make any changes. The game is fantastic as it is, and I don't see there is a need for any improvements with the game. So Nintendo, please remaster Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, and please don't make many changes. The game is fantastic as it is. There is no need to add on or take away anything. Just keep the game as it is. But please remaster Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. Me and lots of other gamers around the world would love a chance to play this masterpiece again. Then again, I thankfully own a Wii and GameCube is backwards compatible with Wii, but many gamers around the world deserve another opportunity to play this masterpiece. Okay guys, so here are 5 video games that you totally think deserve a Nintendo Switch remaster. Tell me, do you think any of the Nintendo games deserve a remaster on the Switch? Let me know which ones. And press the like button, please subscribe to this channel, and I will talk to you soon in another video. Talk to you soon, bye!